Alright guys, deal review, made up scenario for you on a buy and hold. $100,000 asking price, we've got a duplex. Both units are in great condition, they're renting for $700 a month. We've got $1,400 a month in gross income to work with. This is how I analyze deals very, very quickly. Hopefully this makes sense to you. First thing I like to do is I like to subtract what I call my core expenses. Let's just say we've got $150 for taxes. Let's say we've got $60 for insurance. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do times 10% for the following. I've got management, 140, right? 10%. I've got 140 maintenance. And I've got 140 vacancy. The reason why we do not leave these out are these are real expenses that you have to pay. Oh, but Jordan, there's never been a vacancy. Yeah, they're lying. There will be a vacancy. Oh, but it's new construction. There's not maintenance. There will be some maintenance. I promise you that. Jordan, I'm going to manage this myself. Okay, but if you ever go back and need to hire out a manager, maybe you move, you need to make sure you've got that in there. So the next thing that I do is I look at what is left after I've taken these expenses out. We should have 770. Right? Is my math good today? So out of 770, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take out my profit. On a 2-unit, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 unit, I'm always looking, my first thing, again, this is a quick analysis, my first thing is $200 per unit. So I'm going to take out $400 profit as an expense to me. So guys, we are left with $370. Now, why is this the only important number on here? Why is that so important? Same page. This is how I do a very, very quick deal analysis. Gross income, taxes, insurance, management, maintenance, vacancy. We are making an assumption that the tenants are paying their own utility, gas, electric, and water. We're making the assumption that there's no common like hallway lights or outdoor motion lights, whatever. Any additional expenses, make sure you are calculating those here, but we are not calculating debt service yet. Okay? Everything but paying for the building goes here. Maybe you've got lawn care, snow removal, maybe you've got blah, blah, blah. That's why you need to gather the information from the seller. I need all the income, and I need every single monthly reoccurring expense. We're left with that. I'm taking my profit out. I'm left with 370. So here's why that number 370 is so important. Bear with me. It's hard to do with holding a camera. So I'm going to look at my normal ways of creative financing. PML, private money lender, lease option, owner finance, sub 2. These are my go-to when I'm trying to analyze a deal. So we've got 370. Guys, this is all I have to pay for this deal, right? I'm working this whole deal backwards. A lot of people are guessing. They start with the debt service, and then they make up shit here. Don't do that. 370 after my profit, okay? So let's look at the first one, private money lender. My normal guys are, let's see what we had. We had 100K times 9%. What is that, 9 grand? Okay, so I'm looking at my first option, $100,000, 9% equals $9,000 annual. This is interest only. This is my guy personally. Divided by 12, that's 700 and something. I cannot support that payment right now. It's only 370 I have to work with. So I'm going to take private money out of the equation for now. Now maybe you've got a private money lender that's like more like 3% interest only. That's kind of rare, but maybe that's you. So if that was you, you could do $100,000 of private money, get into this, and that's what you're going to be paying them. Okay? Let's look at a lease option. Okay? Mr. Seller, I will lease this property from you for $370 with the option to buy it at $100,000, his asking price, with the option to buy it at $100,000 within 3 years. So lease option could work. Boom. What about owner financing? Maybe you've got a couple $1,000s you can put down, maybe you don't. That doesn't matter. What matters is, Mr. Seller, owner financed this to me, I can pay $370 a month. That's what matters. Maybe you've got $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 down, I don't care. I'll run the ROI on that in a minute. So owner finance, I'm going to circle that as well. Both of these could work. I could make that offer today. What about subject to? Subject to the existing mortgage. So it's going to depend on what the mortgage payment is. If he's got, if he's asking $100K, what does he actually owe the bank? Maybe he only owes the bank $30. So if we took over his property subject to his existing mortgage and it was $370 or less, that could be an option. So guys, I hope you get this. This is how I do. I can literally do this on a piece of paper while I'm talking to the seller. I can make that offer, maybe this offer. Private money, maybe not. So let's look at the second criteria. Criteria number 1, 200 net per unit. Now I've already calculated that here. So that would be a yay. Second criteria, 50% cash on cash. ROI. So let's just say, I don't have another calculator, 370 times 12. Okay? So let's just say I put $5,000 down on an owner financing. Guess see where I'm going with this? 370 times 12 divided by, boom. That would meet my cash on cash ROI. My third criteria, second mortgage payment with net. $200 net income per unit, 50% cash on cash ROI. It's going to be different depending on what money you're putting down, if any. Lease option, or maybe subject to, maybe I didn't put any down, I'd have 100% cash on cash. My third criteria, can I make a second mortgage payment with the net? Now guys, remember, I'm netting $400 per unit. The most I can pay for the debt is $370. So this one would be a big fat yes. This is a winning deal for me. So what if this just does not work? Here's a couple things we can do. We can lower this to try 75 grand. Rerun this whole scenario. I mean, you're still only going to have 370 to work with. This won't change. But that could change. And your private money would change if you had a lower amount here. Okay? So you can change that. You can also look at this property a second way. Is there a value add play to get more income per month? Tenants are on month to month. They need new carpet, new paint. Great. Maybe we can bump it to 850. Rerun 850, 850. Rerun this. You're going to have a new number here. This would be a value add. I can add more income. Now be careful in that. Make sure it matches the market. But that could be a very, very good option for you. So just right out of the gate, this one randomly, lease option and owner financing with $5,000 or less down would work for me on this duplex. Subject to is a maybe. For me, private money was out. Guys, I hope that helps. It really can be really simple. Work it backwards. Income minus core. Income minus the core equals what? Take out my profit, which is $200 per unit. I can only pay $370 for the debt, and I've got my main gigs here. Like, if you don't listen to the kingdom, maybe you've got a bank, okay? Bank is going to want 20% down, okay? That completely screws over my cash-on-cash ROI. It's going to screw over my net income. My payment's going to be more than $370. So if I was looking at this with a bank, that'd be out the door. Hopefully that makes sense for you guys. We'll talk to you soon.